report on something and they agree on it, we're not going to hear it. The only other place we'll hear from it is from somewhere else that's absolutely neutral.
The free press.
Yeah, like I don't know, Al Jazeera or the Final Call, indeed.
Or just brothers and sisters on the streets who are aware, who can make those reports and post it on the internet. And that is a very key point, because the forensic scientists, there are forensic scientists who are owned or are employed by the government, and you have forensic scientists who are employed by the people. Yeah, so we have to understand who are our forensic scientists. You know, in Allah God's world, those who are believers are supposed to be the forensic scientists. The church is supposed to be a forensic scientist who will analyze and give the people, the masses of the people, the truth. But the church today is owned by the government. So the church isn't freeing the people. The church is doing a certain job, but it's not really freeing the people. It's not getting down underneath what the society classes a crime and showing us, hey, these things are crimes that are happening here. You know, banning the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan from coming to the UK is a huge crime. That's a crime. Here is a man who is striving to give us those roles that you were talking about, the black man's role, the black woman's role. Here is a brother who's going to give us our mission in order for us to reconnect as family, community, and nation. And he's banned? That's a crime. That's a serious crime, brothers and sisters.
But doesn't that go back to the confusion? Because Allah said in the Quran, he said, don't let the arch deceiver deceive you about Allah. Don't let him deceive you, because what ends up happening is that they, in this society, they turn everything on its head. So it's all right for the man to stay at home, and it's all right for the woman to go to work. It's all right for the children to be disobedient to the parents, and it's all right for the parents to just abuse their children. So what they do is they spin everything up and around so that we've got a ball of confusion. It's like a ball of wool, and it's all knotted up and everything else. And so everyone's got to try and pull out their role. So we just take whatever's there. So if my husband isn't making enough money, okay, I'll go out and make enough money. If my children just don't want to obey me, okay, I'll just leave them alone and just let them, you know, they'll manage. So it's always about throwing up a ball of confusion and everyone having to just pull what they believe is their parts out of it. But Minister Farrakhan came, and in him coming, he's given each of us back our roles. The female has a specific role. The children have a specific role within the family. The man has a specific role within the family. And all of us have a role within the community and the nation.
Yeah. What you said in the beginning, in us responding to the situation, sister would go out to work because brother's not working. We respond to situations instead of investigating the situation. And sometimes that makes it worse. You know, if you come onto a crime scene and the crime scene is dark, how much are you going to learn about that crime scene? So the divine light in our crime scene has been blocked out. The authorities have banned Minister Farrakhan. The authorities have controlled the church so that only a certain amount of truth, certain amount of light can reach our crime scene. There's not even enough divine light in our crime scene for many of us to even see that it is a crime scene. Yeah, the divine application, or the application of divine light on our scene, is obscured in darkness. Yeah, so the enemies know that the minister is a man who's going to come and bring light, so he has to be blocked out. Yeah, so we can't make out the detail. There's just enough light to make out outlines. And that's where that homicide is again. We're back to the outline. There's just enough light for us to make out, okay, there's a female here. Okay, there's a job here. There's just enough light. But there's not enough light for us to make out detail. There's not enough light for us to see who's controlling our scene. There's not enough light for us to see that crimes are actually being committed. So we're in this situation that is self-perpetuating. We're in a situation where we're theorizing over silhouetted white outlines in a homicide.
I'm thinking about that. Just you're saying just enough light, enough light. And you know, when people are sleeping, or when we're sleeping in a room that's quite dark, you know, we're able to sleep. The only time that we're woken up is like when you open the curtain and you throw open the light, and then that causes us to get up. But when we're like when you're sleeping and you're comfortable in the dark, and it's quite dark, it's dark enough for you to sleep in. it's very, very difficult for someone who isn't proactive to actually get up. And that's what makes us so special and so unique, brothers and sisters, is that some of us, even within the darkness, are still getting up and trying to find our way through the darkness, moving throughout the dark in order for us to find the light. A lot of us, because we're sleeping so hard and because we're sleeping so much and so heavily, what ends up happening is that we're sleeping through all of the alarm bells and all of the signs that are being given to us.
We hit the snooze.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah. Rather than learning how to be proactive. So you hear something that doesn't sound like it usually sounds. And it's time for us to get up and start investigating, start asking questions, learning more about ourselves, learning more about one another, rather than just waiting for all of it to come to us. Because it may not come to you in time, brothers and sisters. It's about us getting up and moving with those who are making motion as well.
Crime scene investigation. That's the sequence. Crime, 1. Scene, analyze it. Investigation. This is what we have to do next. Yeah? In a movie, the scene is the visual part and is meant to transmit a story. We are taught in the Nation of Islam that all that is apparent isn't real. And the Holy Quran says that the only reality is the unseen. Yeah? All forensic scientists should know that everything physical that we see, there is an unseen reality that makes it so. Only once we understand this, we are then ready to get into the realms of investigation. True CSI. Investigations are necessary so that we do not wrongly harm a people and be sorry for what we did, which is what the Holy Quran says. So we need to understand that those sequences in order to get up. I mean, you were talking about us getting up and moving. If we don't understand that there's crime being committed, if we do not understand that somebody's controlling our scene, we ain't investigating. We're not getting up. We're just going to respond and move around and operate in the dark. We'll just gain some night vision goggles or just go around feeling our way through our lives, which is what a lot of us do. So that in itself is a crime. The crime is being perpetuated and kept in motion by our scene that has been set. And we do not even get to understand that the only reality is the unseen reality. I mean, that saying in itself is quite a deep saying. The only reality is the unseen, not the seen.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like, say in our houses, brothers and sisters, and you're sleeping and it sounds like there's a noise downstairs and I'm upstairs and we're in bed and there's a noise, and women, you always hear women waking up and then they're nudging their partner, get up and go and have a look, get up and go and have a look, and then and they're sleeping their way through it, and then we have to give them a big nudge, and then the man has to go down. It's his job, whether they go or not is a different matter.
Roll over.
It's their responsibility to go down and find out what the noise is. What noise is going on downstairs? It could be the cat, it could be a burglar, it could be anything. But it's about us learning how to be proactive, knowing that there are things going on in our community that shouldn't be happening. The drugs shouldn't be happening. The children being out on the street at 11, 12 o'clock at night, it shouldn't be happening. The swearing, the cursing, the noise on the bus, it shouldn't be happening. But all of these things that we have to learn to take charge of.
And that comes